Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Oh, son of a bitch. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
What up,
Mhm.
y'all?
Hello there, Matthew. Friend Matt.
Dave?
I don't know why that sounds like a sitcom, but it does. My friend Matt. ABC, 7 p.m.
That's me. Dude, how much more fun is this team to watch?
Pretty damn fun.
I
Pretty
mean,
damn fun.
like we're down 11. Okay, now we're down 14 on like
Uh,
a couple of ridiculous Draymond shots, some
yes.
bogus one-way officiating, and Steph
Yes.
Curry being Steph Curry.
Correct.
Like
Correct. All that is true. Everything you just said is a fact.
defense definitely needs some work,
Yeah.
which is why I'm wondering. Like we got a lot of different stuff to talk about tonight. First thing
Sure.
that comes to mind, Troy Brown Jr.
Yeah.
Where are his minutes? Like Billy
Yeah.
Donovan's gone all over the place with this rotation tonight, which good for him. He's trying everything
hmm
as he has been all
hmm
season long.
hmm
But I mean, Troy Brown Jr. brings some quality defense, man. I don't get it.
Quality defense, quality ball handling, and scoring. Like he played well when he got in there. and he's in there now as we speak.
But
But
so he's
he should have had more. I agree. He should have
like
definitely
the fact that
had more
Archie
minutes.
checked in before him. I was like, what's going on?
He was the first person that walked off the bench, and I almost freaked out when I saw that. I was like, wait, what? Him? Come on, man. I like him too, but this is why I'm like, my God, we must get a point guard like yesterday, so Sadaransky can go back to the bench.
Good board.
This is just crazy stuff, man.
Hi, John.
Say design on the design.
What's up, guys?
How we doing with these?
Why you come on with the sexy voice, John?
My wife's asleep.
Okay, all right. Oh, Sabine after the quiet storm with Sabine.
Oh, man, the other thing that I think is a problem defensively tonight is just that there are so many different pieces shuffling around. It's like it's hard to be aware of like, okay, this is my defensive assignment tonight when you're playing a dozen guys and half of them are new.
Yeah, that's true. And everybody's still, again, like you've been saying, Matt, like it's going to take a while for these guys to figure it out and their roles and how they're going to be defined on this team.
Right.
Because you saw how much better they looked this game from last game. Like it was a totally different basketball team.
Yeah.
They look way better. They found Booch early and often and said, you know what? You're an all-star. We should give you a basketball. Gave him the basketball. Like, you know what? Yeah, this kind of works, So yeah, they'll figure it out. That's why we're happy, I think, because we know like, no, they're good. They're fine. Right. They just got to figure stuff out.
Also, Golden State shooting 52% from the field and 47% from deep.
Yeah, when Draymond is 3 for 4, then you got
as Josh said in the comments, has Draymond even hit a 3 before tonight? Like, no, I don't think he has.
No, I think he was on
24%.
I think he was on a terrible streak too. He was like he was like 0 of 14 or something up until that.
Oh my gosh, why you come on? Find him earlier, Thad. What are we doing? I'm sorry, I must be ahead of y'all.
Yeah, that was. He was second late on that pass.
What number you want? What time?
Okay. I just saw that dad dunk at 9:22.
Oh, let's see.
That dunk was nice.
He
made up for it. Go ahead.
I still feel like we're still good. Like I'm worried that we're just good enough to like maybe be the 9th seed.
Well, I think the thing that will certainly be a challenge and not ideal as we're integrating these new pieces is that we're about to play 9 of 10 on the road against like 7 playoff teams.
Yeah.
Like this is not the ideal time to be integrating new pieces into a rotation.
But right, like the Warriors and the Bulls are the same seed right now, technically, right?
As far as like in their respective conferences.
Yeah, in their conferences is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but so Golden State 22 and 24, we're 19 and 25.
Okay.
Oh, that's crazy.
Theirs seems different than ours because we're like
because they can shoot.
Well,
right? It's like shooting is so great.
Yeah, they have an incredible basketball player on their bench. He's just hurt.
I know.
He's just hurt. That's all. And so I'm like, with us, it's still question marks about going in next season. Like, we still got to get a point guard. You know what I mean? And we still got to get certain guys. We still got to get certain things and figure out certain stuff.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that Hoop Central tweet that was citing some NBA agent? It didn't even say if it was Lonzo's agent. An NBA agent says that Lonzo wants to leave New Orleans and wants to go to the Bulls of the Knicks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's where the money is at.
Oh, nice dude.
I know John don't believe in markets, but New York pretty huge.
Markets don't matter. I will die on this hill. He got like 11 million Instagram followers. Do you think he's worried about more opportunities?
Yeah.
No, that's a 20th century idea. That is so insane.
Absolutely. He's worried about it.
Now he could like being in like he could like the energy of the big city.
Whoa. Wait, what?
You don't think
he ain't gonna make more money?
I can't think of the word. No, I'm not talking about money.
Did you guys
think his presence?
Look at that.
Was nice.
But they called him with that bullshit push off for real?
Oh, that was they called a foul. Oh man.
Okay, no, never mind.
Oh, it's not wrong.
these Homer Warriors refs are something else. Oh my god!
They're getting beat up by that no crowd.
Like, are you kidding? All right. Well, so Zach just got stuffed on that, but there have been some egregious calls tonight.
Egregious.
I think.
Yeah, they've been.
Would you rather live in New Orleans or New York? You'd rather live in New York, right?
New York.
Oh, that's what I was gonna.
Yeah,
you don't think
that's not a big,
I'd rather live in New Orleans.
That's not a big market. That's not a big market thing.
I'd rather live in New Orleans.
Would you rather live in Chicago or Miami?
Chicago.
Miami. Everyone would choose Miami. And
well, yeah, everyone except
not everyone, obviously.
Everyone except Chicago.
But I'm saying like most NBA players would choose Miami over Chicago. Chicago's much bigger, right. Much bigger city.
Also, you're not paying a huge chunk of your big ass salary in taxes if you play in Miami.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Houston and Dallas get tons of free agents, guys. Like historically, they get tons. The Spurs get tons. That's why Texas teams just clean up in free agency. No, that never happens. It doesn't matter to them.
No, it's more fun. It's more fun in Miami.
That's it. It's just destination. It's nothing to do with market, big market. It's not market. It's not size. It's just cool cities.
I'm just saying, you don't think his visibility would increase if he goes to New York instead of being in New Orleans?
I think he's already pretty visible. I don't think that matters anymore.
But didn't that increase in LA?
I think he's visible now. Like
but that's because of Los Angeles, though.
Who?
Lonzo
Ball? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? Because
that's what we were talking about.
Why are you talking about LA?
Because that's where he got drafted to. That's where he started, and that's where he was known for it. Right there.
I mean, he went to UCLA, but he wasn't. He's probably a bigger star now than he was when he was a Laker, right?
No, no.
He
was a bigger star now.
I don't think he was.
Yeah, he's a much bigger star.
He has way more games. It could be the Zion effect, but way more national televised games.
Sure, he's a bigger star in LA for sure.
He went to New Orleans, got more nationally televised games. You want to talk about visibility?
Yeah, that's because he got Zion.
That's visibility. If it's a big city, should get it. It's the Lakers.
That's Zion.
If he's a star, New York, if he's a star, should get it. It doesn't matter.
But John, New York is on Christmas games every year.
What is this visibility? New Orleans.
I was just asking.
New Orleans had one this year, and New York didn't. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, like, what does this visibility mean? Like in terms of like eyeballs?
In terms of like for him, like being on shows and getting on commercials and doing stuff like that. If he's just average there, he'll be on TV in New York. Just like he was average with the Lakers, he was on TV.
What was he on?
He was on talk shows.
He was on talk shows.
He was. He was on Full House.
Dame Lillard does. Dame Lillard does pretty. Okay, Fuller House is a good example. Dame Lillard does pretty well, right?
Sure.
He's
a great
small. That team only had that state has one pro team.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty small.
Will Purdue and Bill Wennington each had their own commercials when they played for the Bulls.
Yes. Again,
he's on. That's 20th
this is a 20th century mindset.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree with you. Meanwhile, guys, people are flipping out about Zach LaVine in the comments, saying he looks off. He's on a cold streak. I'm disappointed in him. He's forgotten how to play.
They're ready to trade him.
Okay. Zach is 4 of 16 tonight, 1 of 7 from downtown. As somebody in the comments pointed out, he is playing hurt right now, and I think it's noticeable. He's on a bad gimpy ankle. He doesn't have the same lift. He seems to be just like a little bit out of sync.
I agree.
And a combination between playing hurt and playing with new teammates and wanting to be like, hey, new teammates, welcome. Let me give you the ball. Like, I'm not concerned about our all-star Zach LaVine now.
Nope. Not at all. Like, not concerned about anybody.
I love that.
You're figuring it out. You're figuring it out, guys. It's 5 new players. It's not one. It's
people
5.
talking about Zach. Move on, fellas.
It's 5 new people, man. Like, it's hard when you get free.
Yes. And if this is like his 5th game in a row of like this, then yes, 100%. We'll talk.
Yes. I mean, who said that last time, man? When somebody was talking about how bad he was playing, and I was like, dude, since the All-Star, since the All-Star break, he sucked.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, since the All-Star game, he's averaging 25, 5, and 5.
Right.
Like,
you mean
if that's sucking?
That All-Star break where he played in the All-Star game because he's an All-Star? Wolves fans, man. There's no pleasing some of these people. And that's coming from me.
That's coming from him. That you can put that's
Stamp
that. Stamp that.
Meanwhile,
Man.
just out of left field, T Foolery says fade for Cade. Wow.
Man, y'all just
Wait.
I was totally
So we have this pick?
No, we don't.
Oh,
yeah,
like,
it's
did you forget that? We traded away our 2021 pick, dude.
I was like,
it's protected though. It's protected.
Well, top
Top
four
four.
For the first
right?
four.
So
Top
if the
four
Bulls
protected.
miss either on purpose or not the playoffs and get crazy lucky,
so hold
in
up.
the lottery.
We're playing the Warriors right now, and the Warriors have the Timberwolves
bad pass.
21 pick that's top 4 protected, right?
Yeah.
And this is interesting. Like, there's 2 separate teams that have top 4 protected that could go other teams. That's crazy.
Oh man, I think Tankathon put something out today where they had the Bulls number 1 overall, and it's some Orlando beat Twitter page was like, "This sucks. Don't ever do this again."
Dude, shout out to Orlando. That was just like, it's a fire sale.
Right. We've got players. We got what you
sale.
need. Right.
Did you see Fournier's line tonight? Oh, it was 0-0-0 in 30 minutes.
It was
like a Snell.
See that. But I did see somebody took a screenshot of like the ESPN app's play-by-play, and Zion got blocked at the rim by Evan Fournier, and everybody was like, "How is that possible?"
Dude, Zion is so good. He's so good.
It's ridiculous. Bulls hot mic is in rare form tonight. We're in rare form every.
Cheer!
And thank you.
Not that Mets and Kelly Oubre is getting Zach calls. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Wow.
And I bet you there's some moron Golden State Warriors who'd be like, I don't think I trade Kelly for Zach.
I mean, look at that. He just drove baseline, drew a little bit of contact, got a bump, and got a whistle. How many times does Zach do that and get diddly shit from the refs?
Dang, you're right. You're absolutely right. I don't know what else he has to do, man, because it's not like this is new. It's been like this for years. Like they just don't give it to him. They don't do it.
God,
I don't know what to say. Poor Zach. He's a tough guy.
Oh, here's my guy.
Kobe White out.
Here's my guy.
I like him. Yeah, I like him a lot.
Is back.
Tice is awesome.
You know, Matt has a thing for try hard big men. Man, Matt's got a thing for him, man.
Joe Keefe-sized hole in my heart, just waiting to be filled, man.
I will say this: every new person has done something that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, of all our new people, I've been like, I like them. Like, I like it. Like, it's more like, I'm like, why are we playing Arch so much? Like,
right.
All the new guys I've been like, yeah.
Oh, man, he missed that one, but I love how aggressive P-Dub has been with his mid-range game tonight.
He has been nice tonight, man. He hasn't been scared, and you know what? I don't want to talk about.
We'll talk about it in post game. I got some thoughts. One of you get that rebound.
Oh, come on!
I love P-Dub's jump shot too, because he really gets up.
He elevates.
Yeah, it's like Jordan.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Jordan. It really does.
Because
Jordan would just like hang up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like he gets up there and then he figures it out. You know, he's like, "Yeah, I should shoot it like this," or I should put a little more touch on it up there. Like he's like, "I gotta jump first.
Yeah. And he's like, "I got time because I'll be in the air for so long."
Right. I'll be right.
I can figure it out.
What did I do? I'm never pessimistic, but this looks bad.
Yeah. It's the Warriors.
Yeah. Steph Curry's good, man.
In the Bay Area, like, never lose.
That's true too. Even when they're bad, they're still
I mean,
with Steph, I should say with Steph.
We get a point guard. Excuse me, man.
1,
Go ahead,
2,
man.
3, 4. 4 new guys in your rotation tonight.
Snoop Doggy Dogg, Dr. Dre.
1, 2, 3 to the foe.
4 new guys
right now.
That's great. This is Thief's first game.
They're all like meeting each other. Like, hi.
Hi.
It's a Tinder date.
Hi, I'm Daniel. Hello. Like, Nice to meet you. I'm
What
Vucevic.
do you do for fun?
Yeah, I'm Vuce. I used to play in Orlando. Yeah, we played you a couple times. I'm from Germany. I'm from somewhere else. Where's Vuce from? Where's he from? I know he's a Baltic boy. Is he Serbian?
He's definitely from Germany.
Guy says, what about Vuce? Is he Serbian?
Let me see. Vucevic.
I believe he's Serbian.
Montenegro.
Ooh, Serbian Montenegro. Ooh,
Montenegro. Mm-hmm.
Belgian and Montenegrin.
Oh, keeps it spicy.
Montenegro. Born in Morges, Switzerland.
Oh, so he's neutral.
All over.
That's what I remember it now. His father was a ball player. He traveled a lot.
Yeah, his dad
went to
played
a lot
ball.
of different places.
That's right.
Yeah, I remember that.
Thank you for the tip, Will.
Thank you, Will.
Tips are always welcome and appreciated.
Thank you,
Also,
Brick.
Will said inbound drunk voicemail for Locked On Bulls. Lay it on us, baby. That text to voicemail line 331-979-1369. Hit us up.
First of all, I'd be upset if there weren't more drunk voicemail calls on that line.
Oh,
what are we doing?
You should have seen when we made that Vooch trade. Our voicemail line was lit.
I can't
Guys,
wait. Were they all positive
yeah,
too, right?
For sure. What is this low cut, like open button Kendall look that we got going on right here?
Hey man, it's sexy night. You know, John came on with the smooth voice. You know, Kendall coming on with the open button, man. It's that kind of night. It's that kind of night. Mondays off of love, man.
That's Miami Kendall.
Heat culture, baby.
Josh said, "Don't miss Denzel at all."
I forgot about him. I didn't even think
somebody had an amazing Denzel tweet that they tagged me in.
Oh my god! I didn't even think about Denzel. Not one time, John. Not one time.
That was like when you texted Hutch was having a good night. I was like, oh my god, he got traded. I forgot.
So this was this is from Delusional Bulls fan on Instagram, and shout out to Ben McDade who tweeted this at me. It's a picture of a pentagon, and underneath it says Pentagon, a hexagon, underneath it says hexagon, and then an octagon and octagon, and then a picture of Denzel, and says underneath it, his minute's gone.
Oh, I love that.
Oh. Clap that up for you.
I love
Clap
it.
that up
I love
for
it
you.
So much.
Very solid
Buck
job.
Jones,
there.
thanks
That's
for
how
the tip, bud.
I like it because I didn't know where it was going.
Yeah.
And then when we got there, I was like, "Oh, Great America! This is awesome."
Great America.
Oh, I want that blocked account for Tice, even though it was a 24-second shot clock violation.
Bad pass, by the way. Way to recover. But he tried to dunk it, which I like.
That was a garbage pass from Sato.
Yeah. But good recovery because he has hands. Good recovery. And he tried to punish them.
Ooh.
God, he plays like he's 7 feet.
You guys ready for good news, bad news time? Oh my goodness, Sato.
Oh, what is
totally redeem yourselves. Okay.
What you got, Matt? What you got?
Good news. This is the 10th time this season the Bulls have 30 or more assists in a game. Bad news. This is the 7th time this season the Bulls have 20 or more turnovers in a game. Attack, beat up.
Okay, one more three. Be 11-point lead. Then make Steph Curry get off the bench.
I would love that.
I mean, I think they've already taken Zach out for the night.
That's my favorite thing is when they have to put their stars back in when they think the game's over.
Oh.
Did he dunk on Wiseman? Was that Wiseman?
Up that lead to the Lakers and they put LeBron and AD back in.
Yes, it was Wiseman.
He dunked on Wiseman. I love that.
Yeah. What did you say there, Matt?
I said you mean like that game last season when we coughed up that lead to the Lakers and they put LeBron and AD back in.
Yeah, and Boylan called the timeout to stop the
named
to stop.
I'm gonna leave the bench. We're gonna have a bench here in Chicago.
And then he called timeout to stop the big momentum that we had.
Yep. He waited too long to call a timeout, and then when he did, he called it the exact wrong time.
You know what's funny? That's the first time I actually got joy out of talking about that dude because I know it's over and I got a brand new squad, so it hits differently now, man. It hits a little differently, but no, still don't say his name. The season is over.
It's almost not be named.
I'm saying.
Speaking of blast from the past,
that's so true.
First and foremost, shout out to Gafford. Hope he's okay after that bad ankle twist tonight. He's been playing well. He was giving them good minutes.
Ooh. A point guard to do that.
Yeah, holy crap, Westbrook tonight. Wow. Other blast from the past, Hutch throwing shade on Twitter.
Hutch.
After doing nothing for 2 seasons.
One man's
a damn thing.
One man's
garbage.
Yeah. And also, like, he wasn't available to even be garbage for us. He wasn't, like, he could not play. It was like we chose to not play him.
Yeah.
Right.
Big Dave, I liked your response in our text thread that was like, one man's garbage is garbage for a garbage man.
Yes.
You're right.
Also, didn't he have like 14?
He had 14 points this season with the Bulls before being traded, and then scored like 16 tonight.
Yeah. 18 exactly. And he's acting like he dropped like a double nickel.
Who said that? I forget her name, but she said, somebody on Twitter, she was like he's acting like he was the second coming of Michael Jordan, like the Bulls traded the second coming of Michael Jordan. I was like, he was the second coming of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Michael Sweetie wasn't bad.
Yeah. It's like somebody on Twitter pointed out, I can't remember who, when I was laughing about Hutch, say like, Jabari had kind of a similar jab kind of comment on his way out of Chicago after he had like a game, and with the Wizards, and look where he is now. Dude just got waived by the Kongs. Your boy, Big Dave. Your boy Jabari.
That's right.
Got waived by the Kongs.
Right. He sure did. And that's what happens when you have 2 major knee injuries and you're never the same basketball player. You get waived by the Kongs. And I hope he goes overseas to China and drops 45 a game. With
but
Jimmy
not
Fredette.
Before guard Pax pay a $20 million to do absolutely fucking nothing.
Hey, without Jabari, then no Otto Porter Jr., then no Otto Porter Jr., then no Vooch. So
okay,
you're welcome.
That is a tricky line of logic, but it checks out.
You're welcome. It's all facts, sir.
It's funny how with the Otto Porter and Jabari trade, we both lost. Like both teams lost. And both teams were like, we really swindled that team. and we were like, oh no.
It's so true. It's so true.
Okay.
Both of them were like,
who
is so
this
true.
Hobbit Ron Weasley looking dude?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
It's like
it's
like if Ron Weasley met a nice Hobbit lady from the Shire and they had a kid. That's what that would look like.
He was like a Pac-12 Player of the Year, so like that was a steal when they drafted him.
He looks like a non-musical Ed Sheeran.
Yes. Oh man, I'm sad that this game got away from us. Because man, that first half was so fun.
Oh, you just reminded me of Young Pip, Jay. Oh my God, Young Pip. Oh my God, what was worse, Young Pip or Baby Jordan? That's a good question. For Harold Miner,
it's Baby Jordan. Both are bad.
Yeah.
I say Young Pip is worse because at least Harold Miner won a dunk contest.
That's a fair point. He did that. Whereas like
Hutch just,
Pip ain't MJ, but he is a Hall of Famer. Dude was named one of the 50 best NBA players of all time, and 6-time champ, and invented the point forward position. And Hutch is none of those things.
I've never been a fan of calling people baby or young whatever player because
What
It never
about
works
this?
out.
What about this trend of Bulls fans referring to P-Dub as Paw, like the claw, as in like mini Kawhi?
But it's his initials too, right?
I hate it.
Well, yeah, Paw PW.
Is it middle name A?
Yeah. PAW. I thought
I
it
still
was.
hate it. I still don't like it.
I don't
It's
like
clever.
it. Pow.
It's clever. I don't like it though.
Pow.
Because we don't call Kawhi.
like
We don't call
Kawhi.
Kawhi the claw.
I don't
That's
like
also the issue. We call
we
him
don't
Kawhi.
at all. You're absolutely right.
Right. Oh,
No,
look at that.
Leonard.
He has a
Troy
dope-
Brown defense.
He has
I call
a
him-
dope name. That's a
I call him
Hawaiian
Cyborg.
island. Like, we're not going to call him a nickname.
Dude, I call him Cyborg.
No
when
one
I
calls
call
him the
anything.
claw. That's like no.
Nobody says, "Oh
Yeah,
man, the claw killed him
Luka
tonight."
Doncic,
Like,
the Don, did such a good job. The Don. And you're like, what the hell are you doing?
Good Lord.
wait,
They
somebody
say it
tried
on
to
like
say that?
when they
Seriously?
have ABC games. Like Ian Eagle will say it. They're like, the Don did. And you're like, what?
Dude, just call him
I
Luke.
don't like
Yeah,
that.
he has a name. You got.
He's like,
Luka.
He's the
didn't
only
we have
one.
this
Yeah.
conversation
Luka works.
a while ago,
he's the
John,
only.
where
Yes.
it's like, as far as like one name NBA players, where
Yes.
you just called them their name, and like Luka is already in that
Already there
category.
because he's also the first Luka too.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
Dirk was the first.
yeah,
If you have
yeah.
like a unique name, it's easier.
Well, I did call Dirk.
Yeah, but you call him Digger because
That's
of
what I
Dirk
call him. I
Diggler.
call him-
Yeah,
Correct.
because
Absolutely
that's the
right.
only other Dirk
Absolutely
you know.
right. That's exactly what I was going to say.
You know what
That's
Dirk's
the only
sister's
other
name is? Silky.
Get out of here.
Swear to God, Silky
Really?
Nowitzki. Yep,
Silky Nowitzki.
look it up. Look it up.
I want to talk to her now. No, I'll take your word for it. I believe you. I
I was
believe
going
you.
to look for.
Josh
Heck.
said, "You know it's over when you get a Felicio sighting." That is accurate.
Dude,
He is the losing version of Scalabrini.
Oh, look at that. Who is that? That's Troy Brown Jr.
Dude,
Play
I like
him.
play this kid.
don't you?
Play this
Don't
Don't
kid.
you like all our new dudes? Remember how
Yes.
excited we were for Garrett Temple? Now we're like, get out of here.
Yeah. Who played like 2 minutes tonight and then left with a hamstring.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and then Steph promptly scored
Yeah.
14 points in the third
That's
quarter.
fair.
He's good. Saying Garrett Temple was a stopper, or he wouldn't have done that
Oh,
regardless.
my
Just saying.
God. Dude, the Warriors are just not missing tonight.
I appreciate Felicio, and Matt and I talked about this last show. Appreciate Felicio working
Yeah.
on his facial hair
Yeah.
Dude,
and getting it right and getting it correct.
it's more filled out.
You know,
He's added
getting
the
the style.
stash. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Mhm.
Whoop. Yeah, this is like the full B team out here.
With Lowry, right?
Ryan asked what was
With
Aminu
Lowry.
ruled out tonight. Not that I know of. I didn't see anything.
Do I
I
like
think
him?
Aminu.
Aminu was just a DNP tonight.
Oh, I like him too.
He
Wow.
he didn't show a whole lot in that first game on Saturday, but I like clearly not a focal point. Like the Bulls were like, all right, let's try and
Yeah.
get Vooch going.
Mhm. He said, Amino.
Nice,
Thank you.
nice, Dave.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Tip jars are open.
On that note, thanks for watching the fourth quarter with us, y'all. This is the Stretch 4. We are the Bulls Outcasts. That's it. The Bulls lose to Steph and the Warriors 116-102 is the final. I'm Matt. That's Big Dave. That's John. Thanks for staying up late with us, y'all. These gosh darn West Coast tip-off times. But second game that we get to see the Bulls play with their new toys. And not the result you would want. We know that this is going to be a tough road trip as the Bulls try and gel with these new pieces and stay in contention for a playoff spot in the East on this very difficult road trip. But you had to love what you saw in that first half. And let's start here, gentlemen. Saturday night, Vooch, automatic insert into the starting lineup. Donovan kept Lowry in that starting lineup. Tonight, Donovan makes a switch. Thad starts, brings Lowry off the bench for probably only the second or third time in Lowry's career. I want to say he maybe had one other off the bench game where he was coming back from an injury. And
Correct.
Right off the bat, to me, you saw this offense function so much better with Thad in that starting lineup. And I also thought, and we can get to this in a minute, it opened up so many things for Patrick Williams with Lowry on the bench and not worrying about getting Lowry his shots. Pete up flourished. Vooch and Zach were playing two-man game. You saw Sato and Thad operating their two-man game at times. That first quarter offense was really smooth, Dave.
Super smooth, and it was really them realizing that they now have 2 all-stars, and we got a 7-footer who needs the basketball, who you can actually run your offense through, a la Joakim Noah or something like that. It was good to watch, and I thought Thad would start this game. It just felt like it was coming. I think we all kind of, felt that way, that was coming, and Billy Donovan has shown us that he's not beholden to any lineup. He'll change it up on the fly if it's not working, and that's what we saw tonight. But it was more Thad's IQ that shone through, which I think really helped in that starting lineup of him basically getting out of the way and taking his man with him whenever he would get out of the way and knowing where to be on the. Because if you know, like, I don't think he scored a lot in that first quarter. I mean, he ended up with like 10 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. But usually when he comes in, he was more of a focal point. He was the one running the offense and the one making the plays, and him and Sato's two-man game was on full display. This time he's like, no, somebody's way better than me. Let's let him do that and get him the basketball, and let me get out of the way and, try to facilitate a little more and just swing the ball and pass the ball and keep it moving and get Patrick Williams a little bit more involved, who, as you mentioned, looked much more comfortable.
And John, as I swing it to you, let's also take note that I think I just saw Boban in a Goldfish commercial.
Yeah.
So
you got the Pepperidge Farm money now.
That's awesome. John, what did you think about the switch from Donovan tonight to put Thad back in the starting lineup and bring Lowry to the bench?
Man, I liked it. Again, I like tinkering. I don't think I know if it worked, though. That's the thing. And it shouldn't work. You shouldn't just make one move and go, oh, that solved all our basketball problems. It's so funny. To me, it's like our biggest issue wasn't Lowry. It's still point guard. And it's like,
true.
Well, it just stinks until you can get a point. Like, I mean, we didn't get that Lonzo deal done, and it should have been fixed by that. Like, and so that's one thing. I just don't. Like, I like Thad. Yeah. It just looks clunky to me. Like, I wish Zach could be more of a point guard. I really do.
Yeah.
It would solve a lot of issues.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing you saw Zach, kind of doing is he was kind of out of sorts and trying to force things a lot, not within the flow of the offense as it was going out there. But yeah, I do think that Thad kind of brought that kind of smoothness of how it went when Vooch was out there. But you're right. Like, you're right, John, when you take a, less talented player, like, and put him in there, like, it shouldn't solve all your problems immediately. Like, you're absolutely right with that. But he definitely helped as far as the movement of
I like that
how it looked in the first quarter.
I think AK clearly and Eversley were making calls about Lonzo. For whatever reason, the Pelicans, demanding an arm and a leg for a player that the Bulls didn't think was worth it. Mm-hmm. They went out and gave up serious draft capital and one of their young players to get an all-star. Lonzo's good, and he could be an exciting backcourt pairing with Zach, but he ain't an all-star. So I was fine with them paying the price they paid to get Vooch, which I thought was a fair price. And if it's true that Lonzo wants to play in Chicago or New York, then go get him in free agency. Go sign, give him an offer sheet. The Bulls obviously are a little bit more constricted now cap-wise with Vooch and with some of these other contracts, but they can still make it happen. If they want him here and Lonzo wants to be here, they can make it happen. And we'll just have to wait another half a season to see that. But in the meantime, I think the other thing that Arturas is really clever about, and shout out to our buddy Mark K from Bulls HQ, who was talking about like AK basically building another version of Denver here in Chicago, because you got yourself a passing capable big man. It's not MVP Jokic, but you saw Vooch's passing ability on display tonight. Whether it's his ability to pass out of the double team, like the Bulls' first 2 buckets were Vooch drawing a double team and him finding a cutting or aggressive Pat Williams who would knock down a floater and then he knocked down a pull up mid range. Vooch had 5 of his 6 assists in the first half when the Bulls' offense was really humming. So they're like patching different ways to get passing and ball movement without knowing that they have the point guard that they need yet.
Yeah, you're right. He had 5 in the first half and 4 in the first quarter.
Crazy.
Like he was just looking smooth out there, man. And it just looked easy. It got to the point where every shot, he had a nice stretch where I was like, "Ooh, buckets! Ooh, buckets! Ooh, buckets!" And it felt good, because it was inside and then it was outside. It was inside and then it was outside. I was like, "Ooh, variety!" Like I haven't been used to this feeling in a while. So if we acting like we haven't been there before, it's because we haven't in quite a long time. So yeah, we're gonna be excited about these little tiny things we see because we haven't seen them in years. So it just feels good to have that kind of guy on our team.
Speaking of things we haven't seen, I think that is something that Donovan, who has a lot on his plate, should get credit for, is that he is quickly looking at everything. And, as I said while we were watching the fourth quarter, I think that's part of why defense tonight was shaky. You got so many people coming into that rotation, many of whom are new. It's hard to keep track of your defensive assignments and what your defensive scheme is if you just got here. But that being said, I think that the interesting thing about the start of the second half was, so we saw Thad in the starting lineup instead of Lowry to start the game. To start the second half, we saw Tice and Vooch paired together, which I think I wanted to see just out of curiosity. It's like you used the adjective clunky a minute ago, John. That might be a little bit clunky in certain ways, but like if your center Vooch can stretch the floor, it doesn't matter if Tice is a great floor spreader, which he's not. But you also saw Tice's ability to, in addition to being a rim presence, a rim protector, and a guy crashing the boards, a guy who's a pretty damn good passer himself on the offensive end.
Right? That one of the posts into the corner three, like I was like, I didn't even see that. Like that was like a tricky pass. I was like, that was like a Harlem Globetrotter pass.
Yeah. So what do we think about? First of all, let's all just take a moment to bathe in the arrival of Daniel Tice, who is my new favorite player.
Love him.
Dude, giant block behind right out of the gate.
We once called him Meth Plumlee our first season, I remember. So I was like, I'm so glad he's back. Yes. Johnny in the comments says starting Sato, Zach, P-Will, Vooch, and Tice. And I don't hate it.
Right?
I don't hate it. I don't know. Tice might be more comfortable coming off the bench. I remember him starting in Boston and then them saying, nah, like you're a little better here, and send him back to the bench. And I think he's just better. Like some players are just a little better off the bench.
But I mean, just
Lowry
so
tonight, right?
and tonight, weird mismatch. It's Tice's first game since the trade, but he played 22 minutes off the bench tonight. Thad, as a starter, only played 24. So Donovan basically had them on the floor for the same amount of time.
Yeah, we're gonna get to see those guys, man, and it just feels good. Like you said, Matt, the block he had, the alley-oop dunk that he had, the one-handed one that was vicious. Just finding Patrick Williams, who was awesome tonight, as we said already, he was great. But yeah, he just brings such a different style that we've been missing. And the one thing he said in this press conference earlier today was, he was like, "I'm going to be the guy out there communicating. I'm going to be the guy out there yelling." Like, I remember yelling about that last year and a little about this year, how nobody talks to each other out there. Like, you can hear a pin drop. Nobody says anything. And the fact that he wants to do that and wants to bring that here now, and he's going to be that guy, that's another reason why Matt is going to play this dude. Like,
right?
Seriously.
Dude, they're not available yet. I searched. At halftime, I went online and searched. They are not available yet. I'll order a custom one if I have to, but come on, Bulls, get your shit together.
Your P-Will, your Patrick Williams one's a collector's item now.
Collector's item, baby. Collector's item.
Oh, yeah.
Ben
Put it away.
Tice is nice. I saw you steal my thunder on Twitter. Ben, my phrase on Twitter was Tice as nice, was the pun that I made, on his second impact play of the game, as in twice as nice. Pay attention to the details.
He did.
Johnny brings up the Tice baby that Stacy.
So apparently that was already a big thing in Boston. Like Celtics fans were always going Tice baby.
Of course it right. Of course
In
it
Boston?
was. Like, are you kidding? That is Nas and
love
Jay-Z out there. Vanilla Ice.
This ain't reality TV.
Love some Vanilla Ice.
Jump
Play Jump
around.
Around in Boston and watch what happens. Like seriously. Watch what happens.
So, I mean, I know we touched on it a little bit, but I want to go back to this. I want to go back to what Lowry not in the starting lineup and Zach and Vooch, two all-star primo scorers in your starting lineup, can do for Patrick Williams the rest of this season. If this is the lineup that Donovan goes with. Because guess what? Behind Vooch and Zach, the third most important person now in all of this, who was the second most important person in all of this before Vooch's arrival, is one Patrick Williams. I loved the looks that he got tonight because of a Zach Vooch two-man game and being the third person creating movement off the ball and being the beneficiary of, oh crap, we got to double Zach, or oh crap, we got to double Vooch. And Pete up saying, oh, you're going to give me this open mid-range? Oh, you're going to give me this path to the lane? Oh, you're going to give me this backdoor cut? Yes, please, yes, please, yes, please. And he looked confident in everything he did tonight.
Agree. Completely agree. Like, think about if Zach
you
or
look
people
great,
had like a good game and shots fell. Like it'd be a completely different game.
Yeah. I didn't. And you're right. I didn't think of it like he becomes that third most important person on this team. I didn't even think of it like that. You're absolutely right. And the game just looked comfortable for him, tonight. It just looked more comfortable because I think what he had 5 rebounds and like 4 assists on
6
top
boards,
of that,
4 assists,
like or something like that. Like he was just
and 14 points,
6 boards, 4 assists, man. Like that's
awesome.
Awesome. Like that's awesome, man. Like he was just comfortable. Like it just looked smooth and it looked easy. And you saw like you said, man. Like when he was cutting, like Vooch would find him, Daniel would find him. You know what I mean? Thad Young would find him. Like you're learning that. When he's playing with high IQ guys who are unselfish and likes to pass, he makes himself available. And when guys can find him, he's going to score, which is why I want a point guard so bad. Oh my God, he's going to be also a point guard. So yeah, man, like he was great. Even the shots that he created on his own, the way they were set up was all one-on-one. Because like you said, that when those guys would get on the ball, you had to follow the best players out there. You couldn't just leave them alone and cheat. There was no reason to. You're not going to cheat off of that on a rookie. So he had wide open lanes to get to the mid-range game and go up and think about it and shoot it how he wanted to. So yeah, it was great. It was a great game for him, and I hope that continues.
When he's aggressive, how do you guys feel? Like, are you like, oh, Rook, slow it down? Or are you like excited when he tries to assert his will?
I have never been upset about P-Dub taking an opportunity that maybe he thinks he shouldn't have taken. Like, this is your number 4 pick. He's 19 years old, and he already looks like he belongs as a starter in the NBA.
Agree.
There is nothing that he can do where I'll be like, oh, PW shouldn't have done that.
Yep.
Like, other than some classic rookie mistakes as
I'm
far
with
as
you.
fouling or what, dude, he can take the shots that he wants.
Yes.
If he could do what I am giving Pete up carte blanche for the rest of his rookie season.
The only time you're mad at him is when he doesn't do anything.
Yes, exactly.
And
which, like, how much has that been frustrating for some of these other lottery picks that the Bulls have been trying and failing to develop over the past few years, John?
Yeah. I mean, but like, and it looks, I don't know why, but like, and I don't know if it's because we want to believe or it's because like when he does it, it looks really good. It looks like it's supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
even the misses look like they're supposed to. Yeah. Like, oh, that's like, it's the right shot. It was just bad. Even the dunk that Daniel had that's showing the replay of Pat Williams is the one who threw it to him. Like, he's beautiful. The one that gave him the pass, running a pick and roll with him, man. Like, who's doing, like, like all the mistakes he made, you're like, yeah, that's rookie stuff. And you wanted him to be more aggressive. You remember earlier in the season, that was the complaint about him was, dude, take that shot. Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Shoot that ball. Like, go ahead and take it. It's okay. Like, we want him to be more good because we see what it is when he's like that. So when he's like that, it's better for everybody.
TJ said, I kept finding myself getting excited when Lowry subbed out. Long fall from such high excitement for his potential. I mean, guys, 5 of 9 for 13. 3 of 4 from behind the 3-point line, added 6 boards and an assist. When Lowry gives you 13 and 6 off the bench, you're like, oh, okay. You're a quality stretch 4 off the bench.
That's like Hutch numbers.
Like, when that is all he was giving you as a starter, when we had seen glimpses in his earlier seasons of so much more than that.
Even this year.
That's why it has been so frustrating and so sad for me, like many, I'm sure, to be paddling off of Lowry Island right now. I mean,
that's tough.
I know that we saw him doing the starting with Vooch experiment on Saturday. We know that he did not get traded and will be here for the rest of this season. We know that he and the Bulls probably have a long way to go to reach some kind of terms on a new contract. And if Lowry is going to be told by Billy in the front office, hey, man, you know, we'd like you to stick around, but for the record, here's what we see as far as our starting lineup, and you're not in it, Lowry's gone, man. Some team in this league will pay him to start.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding? Absolutely. The Kongs. they'll definitely pay him. They'll pay him to start. And that's why I was having that debate with someone on Twitter. Like, it was like, well, you know, he doesn't think Lowry wants money and things like that. Shout out to my man Fish. He was like, he didn't think Lowry wants money. I was like, well, if that was the case, he would have signed his contract in all season. Like, they were apart on $4 million, and they couldn't come to an agreement. So, no, money's a factor. I'm sure he's comfortable and he likes being here. All that is true. But obviously, money's important. It's still a married man with 2 kids. You know, he's 23 years old. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be hard for him to just say no to an extra $7 million because he's comfortable here. Is all I'm saying. Like, it's going to be very difficult to do that. So,
you know,
and the team will give it to him.
Lowry stuff,
I think so.
We've got some post-game Donovan comments rolling in. This from Casey Johnson. Billy Donovan talked about the front court pairings as if they may stick for a while.
Good.
So I think that after tonight, that's probably the right answer.
Yeah. Got to build around your best players. And if Vooch is comfortable with this, then
agreed.
That's what you got to go
Foolery,
with.
I see your question, and I am choosing to not acknowledge it because hell no.
I love it, though. We were not too hard.
Hell no.
But I appreciate you asking the tough questions.
There's got to be somebody in here who's just more of a just killjoy than me, and I'm glad that there is.
I mean, it's tomfoolery. Yeah, it's tomfoolery.
It's in his name.
All right, guys. Man. So a good question to end this on before we get out of here tonight is a question from Ben in the comments. So realistically, what are we looking at? Give us the forecast. Are we going to be watching this team figure it out the rest of the season, or are we making the playoffs?
It's a good question. It's a very good question. Yeah, we're going to the playoffs. I'm saying it. I've never seen Billy Donovan not do it. I have a team with 2 All-Stars.
It also helps that the East.
Yeah, and I'm in the Eastern Conference. I'm going to the playoffs. Yeah, that was my final point. We're in the Eastern Conference. Like, even with this loss, like I was like, even before they made this trade, the Bulls were still a 9th.
Dave, you convinced me. That was a compelling argument. Yeah. I was going to say the opposite, and then you said your reasons, and I thought about it. I was like, those are good. That's good. He's right. So you've convinced me. I'm with you.
Yeah, dude. Like, the East is terrible, and they got 2 All-Stars. Like, yeah, you'll get it together. They'll figure this out. You see how much better they look from one game to the next. They'll look better the next game. Look better the next game. Look better the next game. And then they'll put it together.
Like the Suns got hot.
You can be the 10th and make the playoffs. Yes, absolutely right.
Yeah.
It can happen, guys.
But again, and I know we brought this up at the top of the show, the challenging thing is putting new pieces into place, letting Donovan figure all of this out while we are on a brutal stretch of the schedule.
No,
brutal.
But they're not in Chicago. They're in the beach. It's warm. They're going to bond. It's going to be like a great thing for the new play. Like they're all on a trip together. No one has they have to spend way more time together because they're on the road. They're not at each other's houses. It's great. It's going to be good for the team.
Well, let's hope so.
This is the best thing.
What do you feel,
I honestly
man?
Don't know.
What do you feel, man?
I want to say that I'm confident that this team will figure it out enough to at least make the play-in tournament. But I truly don't know. There are a lot of variables at play, and a lot of them are not in the Bulls' favor in the back half of this season, and this final stretch of 20-some games. And even in the East, like it won't be easy. So we are now 2 games in to the post trade deadline new roster, and I hope that this team starts to figure things out, and I hope that they can gather some wins. But just to throw this out there, our next games: Suns, Jazz, Nets. Suns, Jazz, Nets. We're about to go 0-3 in our next 3 games.
You know what, Matt? You convinced me.
Like,
I was the other way. You made a compelling argument. They will not make the playoffs. It'll be too much. You've convinced me.
But you know what?
Sorry, Dave.
As far as what I'm rooting for,
trust me, it's okay.
Like, yes, it would be hilarious if the Bulls with these new pieces don't make the playoffs and then like get super lucky and get a top 4 pick and we get to keep it. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
But what I'm rooting for,
That's
in
best
all
case.
earnestness, even as my skeptical, cynical Bulls fan self, is for them to figure it out enough so to get themselves a playoff series.
I love it.
I want to see that. I genuinely do want to see that, and let that help inform Arturis and Eversley's decisions moving on. Okay, we got to the playoffs. We played like this against this kind of opponent in our playoff series. What do we need now? And like, obviously, like, like point guard in parentheses.
Yeah.
But I think it would be good for this team if they make the playoffs.
I agree.
Yeah, and just to add to the point you said, Matt, like, even though that schedule is tough, like, the teams below them still have to win. And I don't believe in those teams that are below them as far as winning. So even if they do have this tough stretch, will they drop to 11? I don't see that happen. I think they're like 2.5 games up on the Raptors right now, who are the team that is below them. Raptors are chilling. They're not trying to do nothing. Like, Washington might be an issue for sure because it's Washington and they got, 2 legitimate stars on their team. But it's about the teams that are below them right now. Being a 10th seed, hanging out there, they can still be there after they, go through this murky and tough stretch right here. They could still be that 10th seed, and then it could get a little brighter and sunnier as it comes out on the other side.
We will see, speaking of coming out sunnier on the other side, if the Bulls can do any better against the Suns on Wednesday. Good luck.
Hey, this guy.
Loved it.
Thanks all for hanging out with us. As always,
awesome.
Just a reminder, if you missed these live hot mic broadcasts, you can catch the Outcasts podcasts in podcast form on the BAWL on Bulls podcast feed, wherever you find your podcasts, or on that BAWL on Bulls YouTube page for the video archived episodes. For Big Dave and John, I am Matt. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out late night with us. We'll be back on Wednesday for Bulls and Suns. Tice, baby!
That's awesome.